This is Mr. Riley at the York Catholic District School Board. This is a SketchUp for Schools introductory lesson. What I want to show you, so you followed the tutorial through, or at least I've got the instructions in my Google Classroom to show you how to install the extension. Once it's installed, if you come into Google Apps and you scroll down, you'll see SketchUp for Schools. When it first opens up, there's quite a few things to go through here. When it first opens up, you'll see here Google Drive, Home, Account. You can bring in pictures, export things, and so on. Curriculum tab down here is quite nice if you want to explore it and learn more about it. They got lots of different tutorials, pretty well done down in here. The Google Drive is where it stores its files. So you can see it creates, when you install it, it creates a SketchUp folder here, and you can actually access it through your Google Drive. If you just go to Google Drive, you'll see the SketchUp folder right there, and you can see the files you've worked on. So that's the home. Now, what I want to do is I want to create so this one here, I've already done it. I'm just going to delete it. I'm going to create a new file. I'm going to call it, I'm going to go with feet and inches. I'm just going to go test. I'm going to name it anything. Do a nice job here, test. What I'm going to do is test Rev1. And the date is October 5th. I'm a big fan of naming things like this. Easier to find when you get a lot of them. Okay. Where do you want to save it? I want to save it in my SketchUp folder. And when you zoom out, you can see this is the workspace. Now, first thing I'll get into is the zooming in and out. That's your middle mouse button. You can also access it down bottom here. This is in the way, so you can't see it right now, but it's down the bottom here. You can do it. So I can zoom in and out with the middle mouse button. If I hold the Shift key down, the middle mouse button down, I can pan around like so on. And if I want to just leave the middle mouse button pushed, I can rotate and I can orbit the thing around, so I can look all the way around. This is Raul. His job is simply to show you the size of what you're drawing in compared to a human figure. Up here we have select tool. So when that's highlighted, I can then click on him and highlight things. I can come here, I can erase, it's erasing tool. So if I draw a line really quickly, if I draw a line like so, and I can delete it, I can just come back here and I can erase that line like that. So this is the paint tool. So if I want to paint some different things, this is my drawing tool here. As I just said, we got so we can draw a spline or we can draw straight lines. If I'm going to draw straight lines, I'm going to come in and show you something. I click here, and if you look right there, you'll see on green axis. That means I'm drawing that line parallel to it, that green axis. And the same is true if I go this way, it's the red axis, and then if I hit the escape key and draw up, it's the blue axis. It's drawing it parallel to those. The odd thing here now, though, is it's in perspective view. So when I draw that, it looks like those two lines converge eventually. Personally, I don't like that look. It's the perspective look. So you come into here, into your scenes, you change the scenes, and I'm going to switch it to this one right here, parallel projection. And now my lines, so I'm going to go back and delete that line. But now you can see when I do that, draw the line, you can see it's parallel to that. So I prefer that look to the perspective look, but it's entirely up to you. So here we got radiuses and so on, and arcs. Down here we have, click this out, you can see all the different tools here. We can write letters, we can do octagon shapes, we can do all different things, circles. So I'm going to use this guy right now for a second. I'm going to come down here and I'm going to draw a square or a rectangle. Now I can click an arbitrary size anywhere I want, or I can make sure my number lock is on and I can go 20 feet. Very important to put that little dash, feet. So say it was 20 feet 2 inches. That's how you would do it. I'm not going to do that. I'm going to do 20 feet, comma, by 20 feet, enter, and it's created a 20 foot by 20 foot box. Now I can come over into here. This is my press tool or push-pull tool, depending on the software you're using. They call this push-pull here. This is my offset. So I'm going to click the offset for a second. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to click that outside edge. And I'm going to offset it inbound. And I'm going to offset it, I don't know, something like that. If we're doing a real house, it would be obviously 6 inches normally. I'm going to go to select tool here and I'm going to bring, and I'm going to move Raul somewhere into the center here like so. And now this is the press pull. I'm going to go back up here and I'm going to pull this. You just notice it's highlighted. If I pull this, it's going to pull that square up. I don't want that. Undo. I want to pull this one up. And I want to make it, I don't know, 9 feet. So there's a 9 foot wall. And if you roll it forward, you can see there he is in the center. So that's those tools down here. This one here is the move tools is nice. You'll use that quite often for moving things around, rotating. I quite like this. This is my tape measure tool. Lots of different options underneath tape measure tool. You can play around with them, but the primary one I do is, say I want to put a door in here. And so I'm going to shift and roll it around a bit. I want to put the door from this point over, I want it to be 6 feet. And then say I want the door to be 3 feet wide. So I can click on that line, 3 feet. These are just guides. And I want from the bottom up here, I want up to there, I want it to be 8 feet. So there's where my door is going to go. So now I can come back here, grab my rectangle tool, come in here and draw that door in perfectly right there, right to size in the right location. Press pull tool to cut the door out, like so on. And if you go through, this will happen a lot. If you go through, sometimes it creates another object pulling it out here, like it's doing there. It will do that same thing inside. If that happens to you, just simply click on that edge. And now you'll see, if I roll down, I can see Raoul there perfectly. Now let's put a window. So we're going to come here, and I'm just going to put an arbitrary. I'm not going to use any guides. Incidentally, come back over here for a nanosecond. If I want to get rid of these guides, I can click this here. And I can either hide the guides if I want to use them again later on, which probably is a good idea, or you can delete all guides. So you can use your rectangle tool, or sorry, your tape measure tool. This is kind of like if you're working around the house and you're putting little lines around here and there, and you could take the pencil and mark it. Same idea. It's quite nice. So now I'm just going to come here and I'm just going to draw any old size window, so on, nice big one. And then I'm going to go and I'm going to cut that window out. Now you see there's a perfect example right there. And I scroll forward, see how it's making a solid on the outside. So to prevent that, you just come, if I want to cut it out, you just go right to this edge and it'll know now that you want to cut the edge, like so. All right, so that's that. While we're going through this, we got some search feature up here if you're looking for something. Down here, this is the cool thing right here. This is called the instructor. And whatever tool you happen to be using out of this column here, the instructor will tell you exactly what to do with it. So if I click the line tool, you can look down here, you can tell its operation and how it works, the modifier keys, the different things the keys do to change what the outcome is, and so on, quick keys. And you can even watch, there's a little videos. Where's the video? Sometimes there's a little video it shows you as well. So it's quite nice that way. So you can, I know it takes a lot of the room up, but when you're first learning, the instructor is pretty good at showing you what you need to do. Or if you're playing around, you can't figure something out, you can use the instructor. So let's draw another window on this side as well. Make a nice big one like so. Escape, push, pull command, push that through to that edge, and I get another one. Now I can go over here and on this, let's get him back out of here. So that's this one here is our scenes. What scenes is just views. I've always called that views anywhere else whatever else I've done. So this is our top view, right? We've gone through orthographic projections by now. There's my isometric view, one direction, isometric view the other direction. There's my front view of it. So you can quickly select the different views. I can leave it like that. You can change hidden geometry, hidden object lines. There's lots of different things you can play with in here and go down through it. This one right here is your colors. So if you wanted to say, for argument's sake, click on this, say I wanted to make brick cladding. Let's say I like that brick, that looks cool. Let's do this in brick and this in brick, and I can rotate it around the other side, like so, like that, brick, and I can go here, brick, right? So I can color things. Looks kind of cool that way. You can come in here and you can get windows too. It should be somewhere here. Glass and mirror, window. Whoop. Oh, I'd have to have something in there in order to paint it. So you could come in here and you could go like that, I think, and then take and then go here and then paint that. And now if you look through, I think we should be able to see there's nice glass there. Okay, roofing and so on. So you can click through these different things. You can click some default styles and such. Gone through that. Displays we've gone through, and so on. Now we can say let's make it look like a house. We can actually put a roof on it now. So we can just come here and we can come like this, and we can say, okay, well, I want to start in the center. I want to go up to, I don't know, somewhere about that high, maybe a nice high roof. And I'm going to come down here, click on that, and then from here down to here. So I've got my roof peak, and now I'm going to grab my press pull tool, scroll around this way, pull him back to that edge, pull him back to that edge. Now if I scroll around to the front, you can see what I've got. Now it doesn't look like a roof really. It looks like a toy roof. So we can come in here. We can click this guy here. We can offset. Now before I do that, I want to erase this line here. I don't want that line. Get rid of him. Click the offset tool. Come in here. Let's offset it in something like this. I'm just going arbitrary, making up these numbers as we're not doing anything sophisticated right now. When we get into design, we will be doing proper sizes for everything, but this is just to give you an idea how it works. So now we're going to go press pull tool, outbound like so. This side do the same thing. I'm going to go offset tool here. I'm going to click on this guy on the outside edge. Offset, sorry. Undo, undo, undo. Let me fix this. Offset again. Let's try it one more time. Right there. I'm going to click it. I'm going to offset it outbound like so. So we have some overhang. You know you get your soffits on your house, something like that. And then I'm going to take him and I'm going to come back like this. And I'm going to press pull him. And I'm going to press pull, shift it and zoom it so you can see. Click there. Walk it back this way. I want to overhang off the back a bit as well. You know, we have how that works. Now, this is something I'm going to show you right now. See how that's going funny? Right there. It's kind of going, watch. It's going funny. That can, when I'm in perspective mode, if I go back to perspective mode, that will go away and it won't do that. I don't know why it's doing that in perspective mode. I've done a little research on the internet and nobody seems to exactly know why. So anyway, we'll hang that over the back a bit like so. Start to look more like a real house, right? I want to bring the front out a bit more like that. And now we can make it, now it's starting to look like an actual house, right? You'd have your eaves trough running along there. So we can go back into scenes again and let's get some roofing materials going. How about something like that, right? So I got my roof going, nice. Roof going here. You know, that looked really cool in there too, I'm thinking. And let's do the same thing on the back sides here. And we can erase that line that we no longer need here. And so that's it. That's essentially in a nutshell how it works. We're going to get into it a lot deeper, but that's the starting. So hopefully you can follow that video along, replicate what I've done here. The real nice tool, the things that you'll use the most, I think, is especially when we get into the real designs, you're going to use it tape measure a lot because we're going to be doing accurate sizes. We're not just going to put windows in random locations. We're going to put chimneys in the proper locations because the fireplace is here in the corner and the chimney has to come out a certain spot. So we'll do things like that. Thanks for watching.